start training with Chester. He is a miniature horse that does some tricks. The hardest trick for any of my minis to learn has been backing up and sitting on a bale of hay. My littlest mini, he backs up and sits in a chair. I've had people ask me, how do you start this? So I'm going to try to start documenting as we proceed with this. I don't expect to get it the first day, the second, maybe even have to take several weeks. There's no sense in rushing it. It is just for fun. The noises you hear, one of my trick horses, he knows that things are set up and he wants to come out and earn a treat. The equipment that I do recommend that you have, you need boots or very good shoes that can protect not just your toes, but even your ankles. What I'm going to be doing is teaching him to back up along the barn wall and eventually backing all the way up to the hay bale and standing calmly. A lot of times horses, when they feel something behind them, they kind of move up. And he's going to have to learn to back up to it and slowly sit down on it. It does take a while, and if a horse is an anxious horse at all, it really can take a long time. Some horses are never going to do it. They have to feel very safe and secure in their environment. So the other things that I've got a clicker. All of my horses know that if they hear a click, they've got something right and they're going to get a reward. In his case, what he gets is a large horse apple treat that I've cut in half. He is a mini. He can't get a whole one at one time. These take a little while to chew, so I'm hoping he will relax while he's chewing. It helps to keep his mind a little more focused than if I gave him, say, a peppermint. I try not to say that word in here because Bucky will get a little anxious. He loves that kind of treat. So I have several of these handy, and I'll be putting those up here so I don't dump them. I've got my little clicker. I prefer to actually use a praise word over and over. In this case, the little horse I'm going to be working with, he knows his praise word is excellent. And excellent means he's doing a good job. It doesn't necessarily mean we have accomplished what we are our end goal, but it means he's taking each step. I use a halter, barn halter, that fits well, just like for your trail class. You need one that is not loose, but not too tight. You don't want it to be touching their cheekbones, maybe about a finger lower. And often I end up, depending on how the horse responds, actually using 2 lead lines so that it's almost like driving them. I'll have this kind of like around over his neck and to the back. I'm not quite sure which technique I'm going to be using with this one. He does back well for trail class. He also backs well as a driving horse. But he doesn't like to sit down. I did ask him several years ago to try it, and he just was a little panicky over it. Several years have gone by, and I'm going to try it again. So, day 1, I'm going to get Chester out. I have brought Chester out, and even before I start, I want to emphasize that this is a difficult new trick, and anytime I start something new, I like to talk to the little horses and explain to them. Here we go. Good, Chessie. I learned this trick a long time ago. It helps the human as well as the horse. I talk to them. I tell them that there's nothing they can do that's wrong. Horses are reactors, and all he's going to be doing is reacting to what I try to tell him to do. If you start off and you're real anxious, they're going to get anxious. And as you can see, he is a yawner, which is a sign of anxiety. But he's learned a lot over the years, but he knows I'm getting ready to teach him something. So, little Jessie, there's nothing you can do that's wrong. Nothing. Good boy. I also try to think out loud and visualize what it is I want to try to do. So, all I'm going to visualize to him is I'm going to teach him to come alongside this wall and back up. So let's see. Chester, come here. Good boy. Come along. Come alongside. Excellent. 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 Good. Now, I'm going to ask him for a little back up. A little back. Oh, see, he's already trying to avoid the hay bale. Good boy. Come back up. Come on. This is where your boots will come in handy because you might get your foot stepped on. Jessie, no, we're not going to stand on it. Come up. Come up. Good boy. Whoa. Good. Good. When he does finally come and stand quietly, he is going to get a reward. Jessie, come up. No. Come up. Stand. No. No, 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 no. Come. He line dances, and I think what's happened is he thinks he's supposed to be beside me to do his line dancing. Come up. Good boy. He wants to line dance. We're not going to do that. Good boy. Whoa. Good. He says I got to show off my tricks. But see, now that's not what I want him to do. Easy, baby. I know that's a sight. Okay, Jessie. Whoa. I'm going to change what I'm doing. Chester, walk up. Good. Whoa. 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 Back. 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 Good. 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 I know my camera's going to go off here in a minute. I am going to give him a little treat. See, now he doesn't have a bit in his mouth. We're just going to get a treat here. I just have to keep him away from the hay bale.